Hey, what's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So I believe there is going to be a rotation from gold's new all-time highs into Bitcoin, and there are very specific reasons why that I'm going to cover in this video. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know in the comments as well. So crypto is pretty boring right now for the day, the week, and the month. The year, still doing okay. But a couple of things I want to talk about as to what's going on and why I think there will be a rotation into Bitcoin for the rest of the year and next year. First, though, right here, a lot of people are freaked out about the price of Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin is just down around 18% from its all-time high. Now, this chart shows that Bitcoin goes down quite a lot more, and even in a bull market. So going back to 2017, we saw multiple drops of 20%, even higher, 30%, right, in 2017. 2021, we saw lots of 20 to 30% drops in the price of Bitcoin. So just because Bitcoin is at a lower price right now does not mean that the cycle is over. People that are locked into this 4-year cycle mentality, I think, believe that, well, we're at the end of the year, therefore we're done. And in this video, I want to share some counter arguments to that as well. So realistically, Bitcoin has just been in a long 6-month consolidation above $100,000. So there has not been a day that has closed less than 100K going all the way back to May of this year. That was a lot of rhyming. So yeah, I mean, there's just a long consolidation. And what we're seeing is obviously gold do incredibly well. And gold is showing just how unstable the market is. And a lot of this having to do with these regional banks having issues. Also, the geopolitical tensions in China and how China is stacking gold as well. A lot of factors are why gold has been ripping over the last year. But once the government shutdown ends and we get new economic data and then less tension between China and the US, and if there is some regional banking crisis, we know that there will be an increase of liquidity pumped into the market, and that'll help Bitcoin as well. So whatever happens with this whole banking thing doesn't really matter long term because the US is not going to let the small banks just collapse like that. So one thing I'm really looking at is right here. There is a 99% chance there will be 2 rate cuts for the rest of the year on October 29th and also on December 10th. And that is huge, along with Jerome Powell saying that he is going to most likely end quantitative tightening. And this is all going to really help the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin rose a ton while we were in a very bad market for risk assets. Interest rates were rising, liquidity was just not there, and Bitcoin still did like a 7 to 8x in price during these last couple years. Now we're moving into an environment where we are going to see more rate cuts, an end to quantitative tightening, and also we got the midterms coming up, and Trump and the rest of the Republicans want to look as good as possible for the midterms. So they will do whatever they need to do to boost the market higher. So for those reasons and others, I believe we will see a great 2026 for Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to see this massive crash like we saw at the end of the last cycle and the one before that, 2021 and 2017. We haven't seen insane amounts of greed. We haven't seen an insane rise in altcoins. This has not been the same setup as we've seen the last couple cycles. And also, rate cuts, midterms, and quantitative easing beginning. This is just a different environment. So I just want to share that. And now I want to talk about this. So a lot of people are definitely not doing well in the crypto space, and this is why. So Luke says this chart perfectly illustrates why sentiment is bearish or tired, even though Bitcoin is still above 100K. A basket of the top 50 altcoins are now trading below where they were post FTX crash end of 2022. We're seeing Ethereum well above where the price was when the FTX collapse happened. But I think the sentiment, though, is that a lot of people are severely underwater. Now, personally, I think we could see one last flush out for Bitcoin, maybe dropping to the 80K range, 90K range, before we massively blast higher. I've been talking about 100,000 Bitcoin for a few months now, and we haven't hit 100K yet, but I wouldn't be shocked and I wouldn't be scared if we do. The market always does what brings the most people the max amount of pain, right? And bringing the price of Bitcoin lower just to wipe out any sense of excitement or euphoria, I think would be the most detrimental. And then we're going to see this massive blast higher. So when everyone is just scared and petrified, everyone is shorting because they think the bull market's over and we're going to go down to 50K, that would be the time for the market makers and the whales and whoever controls the markets to be like, great, let's blast higher and wipe out all of this leverage. So when we start seeing a massive amount of shorts, when this is just sky high, the price of Bitcoin goes down $5,000 and we're seeing billions of dollars of shorts, right? We've seen these scenarios before. That's often when the market does the reverse. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a wick down to 95, 90K, maybe lower, freak everybody out. Everyone's calling for a bear market. And then we see the market rip higher. And I do think that a lot of the liquidity in gold right now that's been flowing into gold will flow into Bitcoin and other assets. So again, when the geopolitical tensions in China ease up, when the Fed pivots to quantitative easing, when we officially get these locked in rate cuts, I think a lot of investors are going to move away from gold because their fears are not as heightened, and they're going to move into other riskier assets like Bitcoin. That's what I think is going to happen, guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Other than that, I will end the video there. Hope you guys are doing well. Until next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.